Are you tired of hearing about the US dollar all the time? Do you feel like there should be more diversity and creativity in the global monetary system? Well, good news. China and Brazil are shaking things up by ditching the dollar and settling their trade in their currencies. But what does that mean for the rest of the world? Are we witnessing the birth of a new era in international finance, or is this just a fleeting fad that won't amount to much? In this video, we'll explore the deeper economic ties between China and Brazil, the potential risks and challenges associated with de-dollarization, and the broader trend toward the use of alternative currencies in international transactions. So, will the US dollar remain the king of the hill? Or will the Yuan, the Real, or some other currency rise to challenge its supremacy? Let's find out. In a significant move, China and Brazil have agreed to trade in their currencies, bypassing the use of the US dollar as an intermediary, according to a statement by the Brazilian government. So, the US dollar is at risk of losing its throne as the king of currencies. This deal, which is China's latest attempt to challenge the dominance of the US dollar, will enable both countries to conduct their massive trade and financial transactions directly, exchanging Yuan for Real and vice versa, without the need for the US dollar as an intermediary. But how will China and Brazil's decision to trade in their currencies impact global trade? This agreement is a part of China's larger campaign to advance the Yuan's usage abroad, which has been gaining popularity as a reserve currency. In recent years, China aspires to get the yuan included in the IMF's basket of currencies used to determine the value of its special drawing rights, SDR. But how will Brazil's move toward de-dollarization impact its economic resilience and foreign exchange management? Brazil, on the other hand, sees the move toward de-dollarization as a way to reduce its vulnerability to currency fluctuations and economic shocks. By settling trade in its currency, Brazil can better manage its foreign exchange reserves and avoid the risks associated with a strong US dollar. Moreover, the move towards de-dollarization is likely to have long-term implications for the global monetary system. The dominance of the US dollar has been a source of controversy and tension in international relations, and many countries have been seeking to reduce their dependence on the currency. But will China's campaign to promote the yuan as a reserve currency challenge the US dollar's dominance in global trade? If more countries follow the example of China and Brazil and begin to settle trade in their currencies, it could erode the dominance of the US dollar and lead to a more multipolar global monetary system. Why China and Brazil are deepening economic ties. China's growing economic presence in Brazil has been evident since 2009, when it overtook the United States as the country's top trading partner. Since then, China has continued to increase its investments in Brazil, making it the largest recipient of Chinese investment in Latin America. This trend is driven primarily by China's spending on high-tension electricity transmission lines and oil extraction, which are critical components of Brazil's infrastructure and energy sector. Do you know what percentage of Brazil's imports and exports China accounts for? China is Brazil's most significant trading partner, and bilateral trade between the two countries hit a record high of $150.5 billion last year. As the country's largest trading partner, China accounts for over a fifth of all imports, followed by the United States. Furthermore, China is also Brazil's largest export market, accounting for more than a third of all exports. With the new agreement, Brazil and China are expected to deepen their economic cooperation, creating new opportunities for both countries to expand their business interests and increase mutual investment. How did it happen? Brazilian President Luiz da Silva, who took office in January, has demonstrated a clear commitment to strengthening ties with Beijing following a period of strained relations between the two countries under his predecessor, Jair Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro's anti-China rhetoric during his campaign and throughout his time in office had resulted in a deterioration of relations between Brazil and China, with the latter becoming increasingly frustrated with Brazil's policy toward Chinese investment in the country. In contrast, President da Silva's administration has taken a more conciliatory approach towards China, recognizing the importance of the country as a key trading partner and investor. President da Silva was scheduled to visit Beijing as part of his efforts to deepen economic ties between the two countries. However, he was unfortunately forced to cancel his trip due to contracting pneumonia. Despite the cancellation, a large delegation of ministers, senators, lawmakers, and business people had been set to accompany President da Silva on his first state visit since taking office. The delegation, which included more than 100 representatives from the agricultural sector, was a clear indication of the Brazilian government's commitment to enhancing economic cooperation with China. Under the terms of the new currency deal, the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China and Bank of Communications (BBM) will be responsible for executing transactions between the two countries. This move is in line with China's ongoing efforts to establish similar currency deals with other major trading partners, including Russia, Pakistan, and several other countries. Significant benefits of the deal. Apex Brazil, the Brazilian Trade and Investment Promotion Agency, has recently revealed that this new arrangement is expected to bring significant benefits to the country's trade and investment landscape. The agreement is aimed at reducing costs and promoting even greater bilateral trade, as well as facilitating investment. This development is a significant step towards strengthening Brazil's economic ties with its partners, particularly China. China and Brazil investments in other projects. In addition to promoting the use of their currencies in international trade, China and Brazil have been strengthening their economic ties in various other ways. The two nations have collaborated on increasing bilateral investments, enhancing infrastructure, and expanding cooperation in vital sectors such as agriculture, energy, and technology. So, which are the critical components of Brazil's infrastructure and energy sector that China is investing in? China has been investing extensively in Brazil's infrastructure, including roads, railways, and ports, as part of its Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, which is a vast infrastructure development project designed to enhance economic integration between China and other nations. China has also been investing in Brazil's energy sector, such as oil and gas exploration and renewable energy projects. On the other hand, Brazil has been striving to increase its exports to China, its largest trading partner. Brazil is a significant producer of commodities such as soybeans, iron ore, and beef, which are in high demand in China. Risks and challenges associated with de-dollarization. While the de-dollarization of trade offers significant benefits, it also poses potential risks and challenges. One major concern is that transacting in multiple currencies could lead to increased volatility and uncertainty in exchange rates. Smaller firms could also face higher costs and complexity in international transactions. De-dollarization trend in international transactions. The trend towards de-dollarization isn't limited to emerging economies or countries at odds with the US. Even traditional US allies such as Japan and South Korea have been exploring ways to reduce their dependence on the US dollar and promote the use of their currencies in international trade. Other countries such as Russia and Iran have also been settling trade in their currencies, bypassing US sanctions and reducing their dependence on the US financial system. The European Union has been exploring ways to reduce its reliance on the US dollar in its trade with Iran. However, the shift towards de-dollarization is expected to be gradual, as many countries still view the US dollar as the safest and most reliable currency for international transactions. Nonetheless, as more countries seek to minimize their exposure to risks associated with the US dollar, the trend towards de-dollarization is likely to continue, promoting a more balanced and sustainable global monetary system. This latest development signals a shift in the balance of power in international finance, as emerging economies gain greater influence and recognition in the global financial system. As they continue to work together on a range of strategic initiatives, we'll likely see many more such agreements in the future, as both nations seek to further enhance their economic cooperation and build a more prosperous future for their citizens. Moreover, this move is seen as a way to challenge the dominance of the US dollar in global trade, which has been a subject of contention and strain in international relations. While there are risks and challenges associated with this process, the potential benefits of promoting the use of alternative currencies in trade settlement are significant. As more and more countries explore this possibility, we may see a more balanced and sustainable global monetary system emerge in the future. And with that said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.